Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
All right. I'm going to make this as short and sweet as possible because SmackDown was long. It was long.
Yep.
Okay? It was long. Hello. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Hello to Don and Rico. They were in here way before I even went live. So that's awesome. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, great. So let's blow through this as quickly as possible without doing too much. Because, like I said, SmackDown was a very long show and we got to get through it. All right. So let's just go off with Randy. Randy opened up the show. He gave a smaller promo, and it looked like or sounded like he was getting ready to finally tell us who has been keeping him company with the voices in his head. Yes? But unfortunately, he was interrupted.
You know, tell us.
He no tell us.
Oh.
He no tell us who's been talking to him these last couple of weeks. We don't know. Matt Cardona came out there and busted him in the head with the microphone, and well, that led to Matt Cardona and Randy Orton having a match at the end of the night. But because I like to Tarantino this shit to keep y'all from leaving, because a lot of y'all leave when I don't talk about what just happened on the screen. The last match of the night was Randy Orton and Matt Cardona. It's pretty brutal match. I mean, this is the vintage Randy Orton that everybody is used to. This level of just pure villainy and just brutality, and the Randy Orton's always been a slow methodical wrestler. When he was a heel or when he is one, he takes great pleasure in instilling pain in people. It is scary to watch. If you don't understand him, it's scary to watch. However, he seemed to be taking great pride in dismantling Matt Cardona. Now, Matt almost won this match a couple of times, but for the most part, Randy Orton was keeping this match in this slow pace where he would pick up pace just a little bit to give him the edge, but then he would slow everything back down and just dismantle him piece by piece. The isolations of his hand, the constant bending of his fingers and his arm, he was making sure Matt Cardona felt everything that he needed him to feel. It was precise, it was intentional, and it was nasty. It looked nasty. It looked like it hurt. And I think that's another thing that we miss from wrestling nowadays is like we want to see that it actually hurts or appears to hurt. You know what I mean? But anywhoosies, after he beat Cardona, of course, I hope y'all can hear me. Wow, we're not gonna stay on topic here, are we? Wow. Okay. Anyways, Randall beat Matt. Match was over. And then we saw that Cody's bus pulled up. Great. You can hear me. Awesome. Cody's bus pulled up. And this was the longest fucking walk to the ring that I have ever seen. It was so long that they cut to commercial in the middle of it. Never seen no shit like that before in my life. I was like, what? Why are we watching him come to the ring? What are we doing? I don't understand. Then they only had 2 security guards back there, right? So they're trying to keep Cody from going out there, and he's just marching his way out there. You know, he's on some Peter Griffin shit. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him. That's it. That's all he could say. Now, when he got out there to the arena, finally, Nicholas and the rest of the goddamn security were finally able to catch up to him. Okay. And they were like, hey, listen. I don't know who was driving the bus, child. I don't know. But I'm assuming he has a driver, obviously. We gonna ask the most random shit. It always be the most random, unnecessary shit. You just be like, what? Anyways, he's walking out there. He finally gets out there. Music hits. He's coming out there slow, and then everybody shows up. Nicholas is trying to keep him from going in there, and he's like, "Look, I just want to talk to him. We're just gonna vibe. I just want to talk to him." And as soon as he gets in there, them and Randy start fighting for approximately 5 to 6 minutes. You see nothing but Randall Keith Orton and Cody fucking Rhodes just fighting. Nobody said a word. They were just battling. And it was just like all you saw was thumbs to the eyes and punches to the face. Thumbs to the eyes and punches to the face. That's it. Then Jelly Roll's stupid ass came out there. He got to be everybody's moral compass when he ain't got no moral compass himself. I'm on your ass, Jelly Roll. I'm on your ass because, see, you trying to come out here like you some nice, God-fearing, praying man when you know you're gross. You know you're disgusting, okay? So I'm going to be on your ass like white on rice. I'm going to be on your ass like that sagging skin you got, bitch. I'm going to be on your ass. But anyway, he came out there and decided he was trying to diffuse the situation, which I don't understand this. Like, now, life lesson number 25, okay? You do not get in the middle of people who fight unless you plan on getting your ass whooped or getting hit, okay? When 2 people are fighting to this degree, you need to be minding your motherfucking business. You should have kept your big little ass in the back and watched on the monitor, not in somebody else's business that didn't have nothing to do with you. Now, I don't know why you have to be the liaison between Cody and fucking Randall, since they knew each other way before your big little ass came along. But I'm going to need for you to back the fuck up. That's what I'm going to need for you to do. I'm going to need you to back up, relax yourself, and concentrate on what you need to be doing. Okay? Minding everybody else's business is not going to get you nowhere. Okay? But I guess you understand now because your ass took RKO for your troubles. And I ain't going to lie, that shit was beautiful. It was wonderful. White on white crime is always a beautiful thing. Okay? It's always a wonderful thing. Listen, I thought it was hilarious. And if I could watch it again on repeat, I definitely would. It was good. It was good shit. It was good shit. Anyways, let's play round robin and get around to the rest of the stuff that happened. Because honestly, it was just them fighting until Jelly Roll got RKO'd and then Randall got out the ring. Which, great. Love that for you. Anyways, speaking of Jelly Roll, we'll get to his ass in a minute. These two came in the arena banged up like they had both been in car accidents, which technically Jacob Fatu had been in one. Now, Drew said that he was banged up. He can't hardly move his arm. His ribs hurt. He got glass. He's still pulling out his ass. And then he said if Jacob still want to go, he got time. Okay? So Jacob went out there and was like, you thought you could put me down. You thought you was going to be able to hit me with a car, pull me out the car, punch me in my face till I bled. Then you thought you was going to be able to throw me off the side of a building and I still stay down.
Yeah.
Can you turn it down, please? He was like, nah, I'm still standing. As long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to still dog walk your bitch ass. And that's when Drew came out there. And Drew basically said, you said I took food out of your kid's mouth. He said, no, that was my food, bitch. That was my food. But he was like, it's cool. You mad because I took food out your kid's mouth? It don't matter. Your kids don't deserve it. And I'm going to do it again. He was like, fuck your damn kids. He was like, oh, hell no. So that nigga Jacob, trying to climb out the ring with busted ribs and shit. Motherfucker Nicholas said, fuck all of that. You motherfuckers will tear each other apart every time you turn around in this bitch, and we're tired. We're tired. Okay? We're sick of it. Get your shit together. Baby. He said, listen, y'all don't have to worry about not making it to WrestleMania because I got a little job for you. Yes, this is going to WrestleMania, and it's going to be you versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. But since you guys cannot be governed by a regular match and you two don't care about your well-being, WWE does not want to be liable, and I don't want to be liable for what you do to each other. So the match between you two is unsanctioned. And I said, oh, the least you could have done is put them in the Hell in a Cell. Technically, that's unsanctioned. Right? Right?
Wonderful thing.
Right. Well, it is what it is. Now, see, you didn't have to say that hateful shit, Aaliyah. That was petty. That was hateful and petty. You didn't even have to say that. Jelly Roll beat Kit Wilson. Now, this match, okay. This was actually the first match of the night. Charlexa went up against the Bella Twins. I'm sorry, but it wasn't a good match. It was terrible. The Bella Twins don't sell well. I don't know what it is about them and them coming back, but it doesn't look great. The match was wonky as hell, and it was their fault. I'm sorry. Y'all know I don't like them hoes, but if I'm being 1,000% honest, it was their fault why the match looked wonky. The match looked weird. They were not selling right. They weren't hitting their points properly. Something about them as a tag team is off. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not working well together and they're not working well with others. And it was just a slow boring ass match between these four women. And I know for a fact that Alexa and Charlotte, they do 10 times better than that, even on their worst days. These two, hang it up flat screen. Once they get this fucking championship, let them keep it until Backlash, drop it, and go home. Please. Because you're killing me right now. You're killing me. And I don't want to hear I'm picking on the Bellas, because no, when the old dudes come back and they're shitty, y'all be on their asses too. I'm not finna give them no fucking break. I'm not about to do that. Now shoot. I feel like the Hell in a Cell has been released at this point. I'm tired of them not using Hell in a Cell when they need to. It's been years. Use the damn cell. That was the kind of feud that need the damn cell. You just don't not use it, weirdos. Anyways, these two, I'm tired. I'm tired. I really am. Like, the only time Nikki Bella looked good in the ring was when she was facing off against Stephanie. That was it. Because she didn't do bad in that match, and that match wasn't bad. But these matches she's had lately with her sister, absolutely the fuck not. Not the red paint. Anyways, this match, the Bellas ended up winning the match against Alexa and Charlotte because Lash and Nia involved themselves in the match. They cost Alexa and Charlotte the match and then got in the match and beat up everybody. I don't understand the logic of it, right? Like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be the bullies that they want to be, but I'm saying if you're going to bully, then bully right, bitch. Why are you incessantly attacking Charlotte and Alexa Bliss? Why are you doing that? This is like the fifth time that y'all have intentionally went after Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. For what? Now, if you're telling me, well, they obviously deem them a threat. Okay, let's say that that's true for the sake of argument. Fine. Then tell me why they've been involving themselves in just about every single match that has to do with the tag teams, but they only interfere when it's Charlotte and Alexa, costing them the titles, never giving them a rematch for the titles, then running around talking shit about them all the time, incessantly involving themselves in their singles matches as well as tag team matches. What does that do for them as the tag team champions? It didn't lead to a storyline between those four women. It's leading to them having to defend those titles in a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. That's what it's looking like. Because not only did they beat up everybody, but Lyra and Bailey came out there after they was ready to attack Alexa, and they ended up taking out Lash, and everybody in the ring ended up taking out Lash. Now, Charlotte looked back at fucking Brie, because Brie was talking to her, and she was like, bitch, and she forearmed. She pushed the shit out of Brie. She's like, bitch, don't talk to me. I don't fucking like you. You hit my homegirl in her face. The fuck I look like kicking it with you, bitch. Then it gone. Now they go on the back, and she want to get in their feelings talking about what the hell was that? I'm like, bitch, what the hell was that? She was like, you're the one who allowed them to interfere in our match, and then you took advantage of the shit. And she was like, well, didn't want them to interfere on our behalf. That wasn't something that I wanted them to do. We don't need them for that. I was like, bitch, yes, the fuck you did. Was you looking at the match? You definitely needed their help, ho. You definitely needed their help. Stop playing with me. Then she threw her flannel in her face. Funniest shit I've seen all night. Now, Rhea, what is happening to you at this current point in time is called karma. Now, there was a time where mommy was running around terrorizing everybody. Okay. Not only was you attacking, Michin and And who was it? It was Me Chin, it was Good Brothers, and it was what's his name? I can't think of that man's name now for nothing. He just retired. AJ Styles, that's his name. It could not come to me for nothing. I could see that man's face. I could see that perk plus hair, but I could not figure out what the hell his name was. Oh, brain, come on. Function, function, brain. Anyway, it came to me. Anyway, she is getting her just desserts. There was a time where Rhea Ripley was terrorizing the women's division and the men's division, if we being honest, interfering in her fellow brothers' matches, making sure everybody had what they needed. But she didn't think that none of that shit was gonna follow her. But bitch, you got a rude awakening. You been getting your ass whooped these last couple of weeks. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel satisfied watching it. I hate to break it to you, Rhea, but just like you said, your actions have consequences. They may not come, right away, but bitch, they coming. In the words of Brown from Medea, you may not bow now, but you may not bow now, but one day you gonna bow. Okay, and then I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, but it look like you finna bow today, baby. I don't think you gonna beat Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I don't think you will, baby. I think that I think you're gonna lose at WrestleMania. Now I see a lot of y'all online talking about how Jade Cargill talk. I ain't gonna lie, this particular segment between Rhea, Michin, and B-Fab and Jade was wonky. The promo itself was wonky. Everybody was talking over everybody. Nobody's point was getting across. I didn't really understand it. Like, people was getting thrown off by the crowd. Like, I will tell you this. I used to give Izzy Dame the blues in NXT. I really did. But there's one thing that I will say about that woman that is absolutely true. No matter how much everybody boos her and talks shit about her while she's out there cutting her promos, she is unfazed, and everything she says it's got a very simple tone to it. She's not getting hyped, she's not getting sad. She is giving her shit the way she needs to give it, and everybody hears it. You resonate with what she is putting down, whether you like it or not. They could take some cues from that little girl, because B-Fab seemed to be okay out there. So did Michin. But it just seemed like Jade got a little rattled as she was out there. What I want is for Jade Cargill to talk more naturally. I don't mind using her AAVE and all that other stuff, but I just want her to talk naturally. Let it flow naturally, because it just seems like it's almost a robotic rhythm to her when she talks, and I just want her to just talk naturally. Say, talk your shit, babe. You ain't gotta, and put on no, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta put on no airs. Just talk your shit. Cause we got you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cause once upon a time, she was the menace who wasn't defending her belt. That's true too. She was trying to say that Rhea doesn't go here, but she said it the long way. Well, I mean, Leah son, Rhea don't go there. She don't go there. So, and I don't blame Michin and B-Fab for teaming up with Jay. And B-Fab said it very plainly. B-Fab was like, well, at least we know where she coming from. We ain't got to worry about her, turning on us on a dime. But we do got to worry about that shit with you. And I was like, well, did she lie? Did she lie though? Because I don't think she lied. She didn't lie. She didn't cheat. She didn't take all she had. That ain't what she had. That ain't what happened. She told the truth, because Rhea Ripley has a track record of how she put it, stomping out the competition. That's what she used to say. So I mean, you know, I don't know, sis. I don't know. You out there on that tree bench on the lawn, all alone. You might want to call your homegirl EO. Tell him come over there and have your back for a little while because it's going to be a long 22 days over in that cold, cold arena in Smackdown. You know what I'm saying? Now, they was in Pittsburgh today, but next week, they are going to be in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis. And something tells me that we will finally see who's been puppeteering our Randall Keith Orton. Something tells me something keeps calling me. Okay, it's calling me. It's calling me. I can hear it. It's the voices. Julia and Tiffany had a match, and Julia won. Now, let me tell y'all something. I never thought in a million years that I'd be sitting here telling y'all this. But if you miss SmackDown, you miss something that none of us would ever have guessed in any capacity. Okay? Carmelo Hayes' open challenge is still going on. Okay. And so he went to Tama Tonga and was like, so Tama, what's up? Like, are you still gonna be letting this nigga run you around, or are you gonna come and answer this open challenge? Because I'm ready for you. Tama never said nothing. Okay. He ended up walking away. He was like, I see you at the ring. So he went out there. Now, Shane walked up to Tama, said something, and I didn't get to hear him because I was over here hollering and shit. So I didn't hear what he said. If y'all heard what he said, put it in the comments and I'll read it. But Tyler came walking up behind him and basically was like, is you good? And Tyler was like, yeah, I'm straight. And then he walked away. Now, prior to that, Solo was talking to his MFTs and basically was like, you know what? Last week I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Last week I was tripping and I went off on y'all and I shouldn't have done that. I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. And we just gonna regroup. We're gonna regroup. We're gonna say a family. Okay. Okay, but daddy's sorry. All right. But you know who else? You know who wouldn't have apologized? You know who wouldn't have, made this right? And then got a time of face and was like, yeah, Roman Reigns. And I was like, apologies don't count when they don't mean nothing, Becky. Bookie Boo, they don't count when they don't mean nothing. So now that we got that out the way. Prior to this match and that little, interaction between Solo and Tama, we saw that Nick Aldis was telling Trick Williams, hey, you're going to Mania and you got a match. And Trick Williams like, Trick really got a match? Really? Oh, I'm so excited. Well, Sammy was walking up and he was basically getting ready to ask Nick, like, what's up? What you got for me? And Nick was like, hey, like, ooh, damn. Okay, so here's the thing, I am not gonna give you a match at Mania. Like, you have not been doing well these last couple of weeks, this last couple of months since Royal Rumble. It has been a downward spiral for you. You've been in quite the slump. Okay. And I'm sorry, but I just can't reward that. I can't reward the slumps. I have to reward trajectories. I have to reward people who are going to the top. And unfortunately for you, Samuel, that's not where you're going these days. I'm sorry. Sorrows. Sorrows, press. So, of course, Trick Williams was making fun of him. You know what I'm saying? He was all in his business, talking cash shit, And then as Sammy walked away, Sammy said, I got an epiphany. And he walked up to Trick Williams and socked him dead in his shit. Put him right on his ass. And then he said, Nicholas, I got a way to prove to you that I can be on that card for Mania. So he left. And then we get back to Carmelo Hayes. Now, Carmelo's out there waiting on his opponent. And guess who his opponent is? None other than our beloved Trick Williams. No, Sammy. Sammy was the opponent. And then Trick Willie came out afterwards. Okay? Hold on. Not say it again for the people in the back. Girl, Nick better than me because I would have told him he chopped and a loser. Oh, is he a loser? Is he a loser though? You might want to hold that thought. Because technically, Trick Williams lost matches too. So he's not necessarily a winner. He's just somebody who's well liked. There's a big difference. But Sammy answered the open challenge. Now he goes out there and has a pretty decent match with Carmelo Hayes. But of course, Trick Williams has to come out there and cause a distraction. The distraction was messy because Trick Williams was on the damn apron, grabbed the belt, and slid it in the ring. The referee takes the belt from Sammy because Sammy picked it up. And then, as the ref is throwing the belt outside the ring, both men rush one side of the ring where Trick Williams is, and he's swinging in the ring. And I'm assuming he's going to hit Sammy. Sammy ducks, and he hits Carmelo Hayes in the face. It looked like with a microphone. I'm not quite sure what was in his hand, but it was something black that was in his hand. Sami Zayn hits the haluva kick, knocks Carmelo out, and it's 1, 2, 3. And Rico calling him a loser now just doesn't work in his favor. Now, does it, babe? Because he is your new United States champion. That's right. Sami Zayn is now what? A 3-time, 2-time Le Champion? And it seems that Carmelo Hayes, he is no longer going to be going to WrestleMania, but Sami Zayn is. Now, in the sense of Sami Zayn being the one to go to Mania, it's more than likely that Trick Williams will beat Sami at Mania. Or Sami could cheat, because today he did not hesitate to pull the trigger against Carmelo Hayes. Any other time he would have hesitated. He did try to get Trick Williams off the apron, which he did do that. But any other time he would have waited for the recovery. He did not. He utilized the opportunity, took it, and got the championship. Everything that everybody said he couldn't do or wasn't capable of doing or has been yelling at him about for the last 3 months, he actually executed, and he did. So, with that being said, Sami Zayn is your new champion, and he will face off against Trick Williams at WrestleMania. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Smackdown. I got a few things to tell you. Just a few things. Roman Reigns was on the Tonight Show. I believe it was last night. And he had a nice little message for y'all favorite champion, CM Punk. He basically told CM Punk he was in bed because he old and he probably was sleeping and tired. And he said, you're probably looking at the TV screen a little confused. You're probably asking yourself, well, but why is he on TV and I'm not? And he says, well, it's very simple. Oh man, I'm a bigger star than you. Everybody starts cackling. It's funny. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We love it. And then today was TNA's sacrifice. Okay. Today was TNA's TV PLE sacrifice. It's a very interesting show, to say the least. Now, let's start off with the things that we do know, the things that I have a clear understanding of. Not your Elastigirl. Put yourself together. Go, confront the problem, fight, win, and then come back and tell me all about it. I love our talks. Anyways, like I said, TNA had a TV PLE today, and it was called Sacrifice. And there were a few matches on the card, and there are obviously some there was some you know, we saw it. So all right. So the first match on the card was not this match, but we just gonna go through it as quickly as possible. Okay. Now I don't know everything that happened on the sacrifice card, so I can't give you guys everything. I can only give you pieces, the things that I saw. So Ariana Grace defended her championship against Lei Ying Lee and Danny Luna. All right. Ariana Grace retained her championship. I'm just gonna just leave it at that. She retained her championship. They attacked somebody backstage, so they're on the injured list. I can't remember who it was that they attacked. But they attacked somebody backstage, and Ariana Grace was aiding and abetting in the attack. She had on her like slingback Blanche Devereaux heels, which I thought was wild that you was kicking somebody with heels on. Anyways, Ariana Grace retained her championship. Moose and Eddie were having their fight, and this is all because the system changed. Once the system lost JD and he retired, everybody started being very weird. And the situation, I guess they got pissed at Moose for like going after titles in WWE and having matches over there. They didn't like that. And they decided to rebrand the system and kick out the people who they thought were bringing the system down. Those being Moose specifically, and Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards decided to bring in Cedric Alexander as their third, and they were going to keep Eddie Edwards' wife, but Alicia decided that she didn't want anything to do with the new system or Eddie Edwards. She was angry and pissed, or at least that's the way she presented it. Now, Moose won and beat Eddie Edwards by disqualification, but I'm not quite sure how that happened. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know it. I'm sorry. Um but I do know that this match it happened. It was a thing. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go to TNA to see if I can pull it up. Um to see what happened. Yeah. I'm going to pull it up. Cuz it came on today. The sacrifice came on today, and the TNA website is just weird. Oh, Rebellion is on Saturday. Okay. Um, did they put the results up here or not? No, they didn't. Okay, so he won by DQ. I'm not quite sure how he did that, but that's what happened. Um, let me see if I can pull it up because I didn't get to see it. So I don't want to tell you guys something and then I don't have the full details. It's rude. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. So it looks like they banned the system from ringside. Eddie Edwards, you know, they were fighting and the match, he had a kendo stick, and because he used the kendo stick, there was an interference from order 4. So that's how he was able to win by disqualification. Um, so I'm going to tell you how they got to that point. What happened was Order 4 and the new system got together last Thursday and they had a conference. And basically, it looks like they've gotten themselves into an alliance with each other. They will have each other's backs, I guess, for the foreseeable future until one or all get a point to be at the top. And then that's when they'll battle it out for the control of TNA. So that's pretty much what happened. They just utilized each other to maintain the shit. Now, the next match that I was very, very surprised at how good it actually was Mara Sade versus Elena Black. Now, Elena Black is Cora Jade, if you don't know. So, Mara Sade and Elena Black have been going at it for weeks. For whatever reason, Elena Black has been on Mara Sade's ass mainly because she doesn't like the fact that she's come into wrestling, didn't have to pay any dues to get on the mat, and all of a sudden now she's one of the top girls. Meanwhile, Elena's like, I've had to work my ass off, and you get to have a free pass to get pulled up. And Mara's like, I'm not taking nobody's spot. Nothing that I've gotten did I not get through hard work. And if you got a problem, we can do something about it. So the two girls have been battling it out for weeks, and this match was set for sacrifice in Louisiana. And so they were having a no disqualification match. And when I tell you that these two were battling it out, I mean they were battling it out. Mara Sade ran up the steel steps and drop kicked the shit out of Elena Black off of the steel steps. I don't know what she's been doing with Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, but they did a banger of a job at training her, if that's what this was, because she has been absolutely excellent ever since she left NXT. Ever since she left, she has elevated herself tremendously through TNA. I don't know who if she was working with Tommy Dreamer's weird ass or if it was just her being with the Hardys and training with the Hardys, but they need to open up a school and just train people and stop wrestling because that girl, she was not bad, but she did need some work. And her doing her due diligence in TNA, I would love for her to go back under Sean's tutelage in NXT and take over. She would be insanely amazing. Okay. Now, let me also give you guys a little tea on Mara. Okay. So these last couple of weeks, Mara Sade has been, she's been having a little problem. Okay. Because she was incessantly being told to follow the white rabbit, And she was just like, what the fuck for? What am I following this goddamn rabbit for? But like a typical stupid person, the bitch followed it. Now, the first time the white rabbit told her to follow, she went and followed. And then the second time was tonight. Mara, because the bunny is running around with Rosemary because she dead. Okay, she dead. And Rosemary is, the queen of the underworld. Now, anyways, she telling her to follow the white rabbit, and she don't understand why who is talking to her, who is telling me to follow this white rabbit. The white rabbit pops up and she follows him this time again. The first time she followed the white rabbit, she just followed him. They went into this dark corridor, everything was red, and then somebody white followed behind them, and it wasn't Rosemary, and it wasn't the bunny. It wasn't the bunny. So I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, so Mara gets led to Rosemary. And she says to Rosemary says, listen, we will protect you. We see something in you and we're going to protect you, but we need something from you in return. The people are telling me that I have to protect you and that you are something of a commodity. And I've seen what you've been able to do. So she said, you handle your business and I'll make sure you're protected from here on out. Now, Mara said, okay, I ain't never scared of none of y'all, so it's cool. She was like, look, I'll go handle Elena Black, and then you and we can have a little conversation. So I don't know exactly what's going on with Rosemary and Mara or where it's going to lead, but it's very interesting. But here's the thing. Rosemary has been trying to collect everything from wrath, which she did end up getting from her brother, um, Crazy Steve. She ended up going, but she she ended up going and getting wrath from Crazy Steve with a promise that she would pull him from the darkness that he's been in. She also had to make a deal to get pride and everything else. So it just seems like she's collecting all of the sins. And then she'll be able to finally free herself and Steve and anybody else who's demanding to also be freed. They'll be able to exist. And I don't know exactly what she's going for after that, but I'm assuming it will be the Knockouts Championship. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, this is one of the best things about TNA, honestly, is Rosemary's story arc because they do the cinematic stuff so well. And I really, really do enjoy it. Now, the pre-show had a few matches. Okay, yeah, BDE facing off against Ryan Nemeth. Okay, um, Ryan Nemeth won. Let's just put it that way. He won. He beat Didi. No, did he beat him? He did. He did beat him. I keep wanting to call him BDD. Oh, but he won. I ain't seen BDE win a match yet, but apparently he's been going through the motions over in TNA, and everybody he goes up against, he ends up getting beat by. All of the heels he's gone up against, he's gotten beat by, including AJ Francis. Okay, now BDE tried to hit him with a frog splash, but Ryan Nemeth was able to get his knees up and he was able to go for the cover, and that's how he was able to win. So sorry to BDE, but he's not been able to win on a major card in any major feud. He has not been able to pick up a W, and I need them to give him something. Cool thing that happened today was that Chris Bay was in TNA today, which I love that for Chris Bay. He seems to be doing much, much better. He's going at a very quick pace in his recovery, which we love that for him. And he made a very good announcement with Tommy Dreamer and Silva by his side. The announcement was that everybody's favorite Belgian wrestler, Ricky Sosa, has signed with TNA Wrestling. Ricky Sosa is the famous, indie wrestler who has the really cool entrance. And it's going to be a fun time seeing Ricky Sosa compete because I know everybody. Yeah. Stop it. I know everybody wants him to possibly go after the the X Division Championship with Leon Slater, which I think that would be a very cool lineup. Anyways, speaking of Slater, Slater was facing off against Eric Young, and Eric Young has been going after Leon Slater due to him winning a match or a title shot in the Feast or Fire Gauntlet match. Okay, sir, because he won, he's been causing havoc with Leon Slater, attacked him badly and caused a lot of drama with Slater. And so Slater had to dig deep down inside to face off against one of probably his most difficult opponents in Eric Young. With that being said, Leon Slater was able to come out the victor. He is still the youngest X Division champion, and we love that for him. Now, let's get into this match because this one was the one that I was really interested in terms of what exactly happened in this match to cause Vincent to be the one to face off against the System's Cedric Alexander and Brian Myers, because originally it was Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy facing off against the System, and I don't think it was a tag team match. But if you don't know who Vincent is one of the members of the Righteous, and the Righteous were the ones who came to Jeff and Matt Hardy's aid. And for whatever reason, Jeff didn't think anything of it. The Righteous saw them on the stairs and basically were like, Jeff is there. He sees his brother laid out, beaten up, and Matt says, "I got attacked from behind. I don't know who did it, but they hit me from behind." Now the Righteous are on the top of the stairs coming down, and they're giving the performance of the lifetime. It's, "Oh well, we're going to be there for you. We're going to help you out. We're going to get this person who did this because we know it was Cedric Alexander and Brian Myers. They did this to you." When in all actuality, it was the Righteous themselves who attacked Matt Hardy. And while Vincent was out there with Jeff, you see the other member of the Righteous, Dutch, beating up on Matt Hardy. They've been played. It's a ruse. Brian Myers was able to connect with a rooster cut, and then Alexander crushed Jeff Hardy with a lumbar check, and they were able to get the pinfall over Vincent and Jeff Hardy. It's about to be a very, very long, long 2 weeks until they head to Rebellion here in Cleveland, Ohio. With that being said, there were a few more matches, and we're just going to blaze through them. Brian, you've got AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian facing off against the Hometown Man and Elijah. Okay. In this match, let me see. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible, but I got to get back to it. Frankie Kazarian and AJ Francis beat Elijah and the Hometown Man. I'm not going to go through that because I don't know nothing about it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Wait, so they delivered him back from abduction? Who got abducted? I have no idea what you're talking about, babe. Sacrifice. Let's get to this match between Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz facing off against Trey Miguel and Jada Stone. Now, this match is what has everybody up in arms in terms of how well the match went and how great everything went. It was a mixed tag team match, but they were allowed to hit the girls and the girls were allowed to hit the guys. So they pretty much were going at it however they could see fit. There was a lot of acrobatics in this match, a lot of stunt work in this match that was really, really good. But ultimately, Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz, you know, they beat the TNA International Champion Trey Miguel and Jada Stone. Okay. Now, there was a lot of help from the Great Hands, of course, and there was some interference being ran on their behalf that allowed Mustafa to get the W. And unfortunately, Trey and Jada were not able to get the win. Matt got abducted. That was a while ago. My bad. No, this Matt Hardy was free. He was free. So, him being abducted in this particular case had nothing to do with the attack on him, as far as I know. But if the Righteous were the ones that abducted him, then obviously, yeah, it all plays into each other. But I'm not aware of that, so I can't give you that information. All I can tell you is that he got attacked before the show and he was laid out on the stairs and they had medical there and he was not cleared to compete. Vincent decided to take his place and said they were going to help them show the system a lesson or teach the system a lesson. When in all actuality, it was a ruse. And you know what Vincent reminds me of? Have you guys ever seen Far Cry 6? Or is it Far Cry 5? I want to say it's Far Cry 5 when they have that cult leader there and he's pretty much, huh? It's 5? Okay. My husband got to correct me, child. But they have the cult leader. What was his name? Was it Vincent? Huh? What? It was Vincent? I think the cult leader's name was Vincent too. But anyways, so the cult leader was very reminiscent of the righteous. Very reminiscent of the righteous. The righteous abducted Matt when they did NXT versus TNA in the cage. They dragged him away when he was supposed to come out. Well, I don't understand why Jeff would then trust him now if he got abducted then. That was just stupid. Anyways, long story short, like Trey Miguel lost with Jada Stone. So it is what it is. Okay. We're moving on. We already explained this match. Vincent, created the ruse and the boys lost. Two times so sad. We know how Eddie Edwards lost his match. Well, he lost in a disqualification to Moose. And now we're getting to this match, or at least the finals of the show. Okay. So Ariana Grace did retain her championship, like I told you guys earlier. All right. And the way that she did that, it says here that Luna and Lee traded blows in the center of the ring. Lee connected a spin kick and dropped Luna with the Warrior's Way, and she goes for the cover, and Stacks drags Lee out of the ring, and Ariana Grace stole the pinfall. So Stacks was a very big part of this match. Stacks kept getting involved, got attacked by Lee, laying Lee to help his girlfriend maintain her championship. So that was a lot. Okay. And then we're going to go to the final. Oh, there was another match. That Racist had a match with Jody Threat, and she ended up losing because Mila Moore and Victoria Crawford's stupid ass got involved to help her win the match. But it was Tessa Blanchard going up against Jody Threat, and she had Harley Hudson and Mila Grace in her corner, and then Mila Moore and Victoria Crawford were in that Racist corner. So the Racist won, and I'm not going to show her weird ass long face in this video. Just spare us the bullshit. All right. Last but not least, let's get to Mike Santana now. Okay. Because I'm trying to understand what the fuck happened. And there's no explanation online exactly what happened during this match. But nobody wants to tell us anything. It's so rude. There's no explanation of this match. And they got all the other matches up here, but not that one. The match with Mike Santana. And like, why is that not up here? I don't understand. This is so stupid. They make life very, very fucking difficult. All right. To explain it the way that I've been getting it was like this. Mike Santana was supposed to face off against Steve Macklin, but somehow this match didn't even happen at all. It ended up breaking down because the system came out there. Eddie Edwards had a microphone. He must have said something. And from what I saw online, a lot of people were saying that Steve Macklin got concussed, but I can't find anything to show what happened to Steve Macklin in the match, because all the clips online are just showing, it shows nothing from Santana other than him putting Eddie Edwards through a table. Like, that's pretty much it. The only other thing that happened today was that Mickie James was there, Tammy Terrell was there, Taryn Terrell was there, sorry, and ODB was there, and they're gonna be going up against, it looks like, um the Elegance brand. So you're gonna have the OG TNA girls going up against the new TNA. So sure, whatever makes you happy. And Sacrifice was sold out, y'all. Sold out. Craziness. Anyways, the match broke down between Santana and Steve Macklin, and I just cannot find any, not even on TNA's website, can they tell me exactly what happened to cause the breakdown of the match and how Santana, the match ended in a no contest. Nobody, they're not explaining exactly what happened because they never really got to have a match. So the way they ended this was very weird to me, and I really didn't like that. I'm not a fan of that. But to show y'all a little something, something, razzle dazzle, Rebellion is the next pay per view, and it is going to be in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. And it's going to be at the Wolstein Center. And the Wolstein Center is the college center for Cleveland State. It's downtown, so that's where they also have other events like these. And this is what you're going to see at Rebellion on Saturday, April 11th, which is a little less than a month from now. The Hardys will be teaming up and facing off against the Systems, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, I assume, and they will be going after the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Now, the System has had the Tag Team Championships before, but it seems that they're now going after them again. And with the Righteous on the Hardys' heels, I have a suspicion that they more than likely will retain those titles, and then they will have the Righteous and Brother Nero and Broken Matt facing off against each other at the Hardy compound, which I think is going to be a good time. Either way, even if they lose the titles, either way, those boys will be battling it out at the Hardy compound somewhere. Frankie Kazarian is set to take on Elijah at Rebellion. They have some type of feud between the two of them, so that's going to be interesting. Leon Slater is going after Cedric Alexander. After this battle he's had with Eric Young, Leon Slater's never going to be the same. So Cedric Alexander's got a true fight ahead of him, but Leon Slater does too. Cedric has never been a slouch in that ring, so he better bring everything he has to face off against Cedric Alexander. And Trey Miguel is going to put his TNA International Championship on the line against Mustafa Ali and Order 4. Now, look, with the way Order 4 and the System have been working together, this poses to be a problem. And this means that Trey Miguel is in severe danger of losing his championship. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. And then those are the only matches booked for right now. But like I said, there's a lot going on in TNA. And if you can keep up with the mess, I highly recommend that you do. And with that being said, I'm going to get my black ass out of here. And I will see you guys next time. Very soon, you guys are going to be getting a new reading and chill from me. I probably will not be able to go live for that this weekend, but I promise you the new reading and chill will be up. Also, on my stuff, I like to talk about podcasts or stuff I want to talk about podcasts. There is always a Reddit Fridays post, and you guys can just listen to it just like any other podcast. I don't have it on video just yet, but these are up, and I have it so that it goes up weekly. I have them all planned out 2 months ahead, so I have not missed a day of posting my podcast for the last month and a half, which I'm very proud of because usually I would have stopped by now, but I've been able to maintain the momentum. So you guys make sure you go over to the podcast. It is available on Spotify. You can listen to it on YouTube on my other YouTube channel, which is scrolling at the bottom. If you would like, that's just my lifestyle YouTube channel that I have to start working on to revive. But y'all, I promise you, the Reddit Fridays are so much fun. I try my best to just be relaxed in that. And I'm just talking like I'm talking to my homeboys and my homegirls. But like I always say at the beginning of the show, if you guys got stories that you want me to talk about or cover, or you just want some advice from me, then please feel free to email me at kttwithtiffpodcast@gmail.com, and I will include your stories on one of the Reddit Fridays posts. Okay. And and like I have said before, I'm still doing reading and chill. It is still going to be coming. I promise you that is coming. I'm going to have a couple videos going up for reading and chill. We're going to finish reading out Black as Fuck History because I just read a story in there and it was just so intense and so out of the shot box batshit bonkers. We're learning about Haiti and the rebellion in Haiti, and that's the part that we're going to be on. And then we're moving into a new spot in the book. So we're going to be heading into chapter 5, which I hope you guys will enjoy as much as I did. So I'll get that video up sometime next week, and I will have 2 reading and chill videos up for you next week, which means we'll cover chapter 5, finish chapter 4, and then we'll be working on chapter 6. And then we're going to start reading a new book. And I'm going to decide if I think I want to read a fiction book or if we want to read something still, a little bit more realistic. But either way, you guys are going to get some new reading and chill stuff. Okay. So keep your asses locked on the channel. And don't worry, some more Wrestle Eat Shorts is coming. I just want to make sure I get the stuff up for you guys and I can edit it properly. Okay. And I'll make sure to include the recipes as well, because y'all get mad when I don't include the recipes. But I got you. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Love ya. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.